Hello, welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're here. I am about 2 weeks behind. I say behind, that's kind of a negative term. I have to complete the last 2 weeks of my weekly memory keeping journal. Um, I it, for a while I was doing this every week, and lately, I just have been really busy and I have introduced a lot of other projects into my workflow, like the 100-day project and the Cascade Journal. And um, in the month of April, I am going to be a guest creator in a private Facebook group, creating a Cascade Journal with folks. You're welcome to join. I'll put the information about that in the description. And I'll probably talk about it later too, because some of the pictures that I'm going to be including in my spread today have to do with that project. But long story short, I have a lot of new projects kind of in the works right now. And so I haven't been keeping up on the memory keeping as, like, I haven't been keeping it as current as I used to. And that is fine. I am giving myself permission to do this when and how I am able to do it, because I don't, like, if a creative project becomes work, if it becomes homework, if it starts having like negative feelings attached to it because we feel like we're not meeting expectations, or we're getting behind, or we feel like it's something we have to do instead of something we want to do, then we're just not that likely. I'm like shaking, goodness. Can't like hold the papers. Um yeah, it just becomes something that we don't want to do. And then we lose interest in it and we stop being creative because we put way too much pressure on ourselves. So let this be a reminder to you that if you have a creative project that you typically, you like to stay current on, um, it's fine to have that preference, but like don't beat yourself up if you're just not meeting it. Like you have to be a little bit flexible, give yourself some grace. Every week for me is a little bit different. Some weeks are much busier than other weeks. Some weeks lately I've been sick. I've had like the crud, and I have just been feeling terrible. And sometimes I don't sleep as well as I would like. I have certainly not been, I've certainly not made it a secret of the fact that I have some anxiety issues, and so I do take anxiety medications, and sometimes, or a medication, not multiple ones, but um, sometimes if I miss a couple of days for whatever reason, I will have terrible nightmares, like awful, really terrible nightmares. And then it just messes up my sleep for like a few days, and I can't get back on track until I get back on my medication and give it a chance to like settle in. And so all of those things impact my creative time and flow and what I have energy for. Sometimes we're just really busy too. Like this week we did a weekend trip to Baltimore. It is Sunday morning. We just came back late last night. We decided not to sleep in the hotel and drive home on Sunday. We decided to drive home. My husband decided to drive home last night instead to kind of miss some of the traffic. And so we just got home, and I didn't get as much time to work in my studio because Saturday morning is often a time when I will sit down and get stuff done while everybody else is kind of sleeping in. Um, and I didn't have that this week, which is totally fine because I was happy to be where I was and doing what I was doing instead. But I just am using that as an example, right? You have to give yourself a little bit of grace because life is flexible and we can't always meet the deadlines that we set in our head. Just remember that those deadlines are mostly arbitrary, right? At least for me, Most of them are arbitrary. Obviously, I have work deadlines I have to meet, but a lot of the creative stuff, like I just kind of like give myself a goal and I have to, be willing to like adjust it, pivot. All right, I am, as you can see, I'm just cutting all of my photos out. I printed 2 weeks worth of photos this morning. The process, if you're interested, is that I just have a Google Doc. It's, on my computer. I just keep it the same document. And every week or two, I sit down and I open up Google Photos on one. I have like two monitors set up because that's my workflow. Like when I'm working, um, so I'll open up Google Photos on one side and I open up the Google Doc on the other side. And then I really just open up each photo and copy and paste in the ones that I want to sort of like keep or document. I paste them onto the Google Doc and I resize them however I see fit. Some things I want to print a little bit bigger, some things a little bit smaller. I try to maximize the space on the page and minimize like the white space so that I can get as many photos on the page as I want. Um, this is regular printer paper. Like it's not archival paper, it's not photo paper, it's not cardstock, it's not semi-gloss. It's really just regular printer paper. This is actually because I like to print on legal sheets just because I can get more photos and I can print one page instead of printing like a page and a half and then I've wasted a second sheet of paper. So I'm trying to remember where I got this legal paper from. This sounds crazy, but I think I picked it up at a yard sale. I think somebody was getting rid of like a partial package of legal paper and I picked it up for like $1 or $2. So yeah. So I've just cut out all the photos. These are all of the things that I need to organize over these couple of spreads. I have March 16th to the 22nd and March 23rd to the 29th. And I don't know which pictures go to which week. I didn't really do a very good job of separating them out. So I'm going to just do this. I'm going to start by like sorting into two piles. I'm going to put the stuff that I know is the first week here, the stuff that I know is the second week over here. And then if there's anything in the middle, I will pause this. I will check my like photos in my phone and like look at the date. This I know just happened. I don't know which date that one was. This just happened. This was recent. This was last Sunday, so that would have been that week. This was this week. These were Wednesday's pictures. This was from this weekend. This weekend. What day did we do that? Saturday? Last Saturday. So that one's here. This one, this one. I'm going to have a lot of pictures from this week and not so many from last week because I don't think I took a lot of pictures last week. Like I just don't, I think this was from there. I just don't have a lot. Oh, that was last week. Okay. I guess there was more than I thought. This goes here. This goes here. Which book did I read first? This one and then this one? I might have to check my Pinterest board to see in which order I read these books because I'm not 100% sure. Give me 1 second. Okay, so they actually were in the same week, but it was definitely that one first and then that one. So I'm going to just start gluing pictures down. I don't think I have a lot of like ephemera from this week because again, there just wasn't really all that much going on. I would like to maybe put this. So what I have been doing is doing 1 week and then another week. However, this week is a lot of stuff. Like with this whole trip to Baltimore, I have a ton of like pictures and tickets and things. And so this week I know is going to need 2 days. And if I start it here, then it's going to like go across and I don't want to do that. So I'm not sure what I want to do with this page over here, but I'm going to try to arrange all of these. This was been Saturday. Oh, this was Sunday. So then this goes with this. Okay. This goes with this. This was something I've been working on at work. This was kind of a work project. This was a hike that we took with the Outdoor Adventure Club. This goes with the art class. I made that. This was Saturday. That was the same day, so I can put those together. This is the new studio and the books. Okay, so I'm trying to arrange them in kind of rough chronological order, grouping things together that sort of happened together or on the same sort of timeline. Um, I don't have a lot of, like I said, I don't have a lot of ephemera and stuff, so I might just decorate this with some sort of random stuff. But I'm kind of on a time crunch this morning. Actually, I could put this in here. This is from my husband's car that had to get a little bit of work done. Um, the tag light needed to be replaced. So I could put this on this page. I don't know. It's kind of bent. It's really gonna, maybe I can bend it back so it lays flatter. Okay. Um, so I'm just gonna glue these down, and then I really don't know exactly what I'm gonna do on this page over here. I will have to I'll have to figure that out. Sometimes I'll do like special spreads for special events or things. I just don't have a lot going on this week. This last week in March. I mean, not that I wasn't busy, but it wasn't a lot of stuff that I, like documented and had. There wasn't anything like big and fancy. I don't know. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Is it making sense to you? Yeah, I don't know. I will tell you what kind of happened here-ish. Maybe it was a little bit more of this week, but it could go on its own page. I finished my notebook. I do have a video that I recorded that's kind of talking about this a little bit. I use just a lined notebook to keep track of everything in my life. Everything from like daily and weekly to-do lists, packing lists, Christmas lists, like cooking plans and menus, um, notes. Like if I'm calling to talk to somebody about landscaping, or if we're looking into, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We look into, buying property or looking at a new car, or when we bought the truck camper or something, right? Like whenever I'm talking to somebody and like I'm taking notes in this notebook so that I can go back and review it at whatever point so I don't lose it. Um, because the notes would just end up kind of anywhere if I wasn't, paying attention. I also do some journaling. Like if I'm going on a trip or if something is going on, I might take the time to jot down what's happening. Um, I do some thinking and meditative activities. Like if I'm reading a book and I need to get some thoughts out about the book, I'll do a little bit of like journaling about the book or writing down important things that I want to remember from the book. I do a lot of gratitude lists. So typically I will do like 5 things I'm grateful for and 5 things I'm looking forward to. And I don't have it's not like I do them every day or every Friday. I just do them sort of whenever I think about it. And so those usually live in my notebook. All of my like work notes, if we have a work meeting and I'm taking notes, I usually include that there, just because it's all in one place and I don't have to sort through a bunch of different notebooks to look for what I need. I know that it is in there. I tuck things in the pages all the time, or I tape them in, flyers for things, or agenda notes, meeting agendas, meeting notes, calendars, sometimes summer plans. project, brainstorming. Anyway, I could talk all day about this notebook. Well, here is what happened. Just recently, I finished my current notebook. It is um it's got about 3 years, a little over 3 years in it. I started it in January of 2022. No, 2023. January of 2023. And it is now March of 2026. So all of 2023, 2024, 2025, and like 3 months into this year. So a little more than 3 years in this one notebook. And I am getting ready to switch into a brand new blank notebook. And so it's kind of a big milestone. As silly as it maybe sounds a little bit, it is kind of a big deal because I have a lot of notes that I maybe want to transfer over, things that I want to capture. I like to look back and sort of reminisce a little bit. So maybe I'll do something here with some of the notes from my notebook, and I'll do like a page about that. I don't know. I don't know. It was a thought. Will it actually happen? In the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure. I have a ton of photos and a ton of ephemera. Like I said, we've got these tickets from the show that we went to. This is our hotel little key thing. We went to a Rolling Stones Music Under the Dome um, show at the planetarium. So I got these stickers. Of course, I grabbed a couple extra because they were so cute. This was our parking garage pass. I don't think I need either one of those specifically in this. Wasn't thing. Was the hotel stay. Then this was our what is it? Wristband is the word. Words, Nicole, words. Some days it just doesn't pay. All right. So these are all of the things from the trip. And I also picked up, well, I actually picked up a ton of these visitor guides, but I thought the Baltimore thing would be kind of neat to have. This is from our hotel. I don't know that I want that in here, but I wonder. I'm not sure that there's going to be anything else really in here because we didn't hit a whole lot of the like tourist attractions. We didn't do really any museums. We did go to the Maryland Science Center, which is probably in here somewhere, but specifically we went for the planetarium show. Oh, there's a DIY vision board with all kinds of Baltimore stuff. Yeah, I don't think any of this really applies, unfortunately. All right, so I'm just going to cut out Visit Baltimore, I think. Do I want anywhere else? I mean, I like that with it's the same like Baltimore, but it's got like clouds. I like that, but I think it's going to be too busy. It's not going to show up enough. And then here is the same thing in black and white and a little bit smaller. Do I want the smaller one? Let's cut them both out and we'll hold them up on the page and we'll see what we like. This is where auditioning. Use different scissors because those scissors just do not feel super smooth and comfortable. We might as well use the scissors we like. See, I think that's too small. I don't think it quite has enough like oomph. Maybe because there's so much information or so much like stuff. Maybe I could turn this into a whole like flat page. All right, so Visit Baltimore. If I put it here, then I can flip and I can put some pictures and some things behind it, and it kind of like gives me more space on the page if I need it. I might not need it. Let's see. Let's see what I'm gonna do. Okay. all of these pictures. This was not trying to sort out which pictures were from the week, like besides what I was doing. This is all Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. That's the book I read this week. I'm actually almost finished with another one, but I probably won't actually hit the finish line until tomorrow. So I'm going to just put it on next week since I already have so much stuff here. Not being, this is all Baltimore stuff. This is not, this is, and this is. Okay. Yeah, I definitely probably will. Definitely, probably. Gosh. I think I will need this flap. So I'm going to start by just gluing down. I just put just the tiniest little bit of glue along the edge. And then if I need to put down some washi tape, I can do that on the outside edge. But the glue might hold. We'll see. It might not. We'll see. How do we feel about weekly journaling, folks? Are you guys doing this? Am I the only? I mean, I know that I'm not the only one. Like, I don't know who's following me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram on all of the various channels where I kind of operate. I'm not sure, what everybody's interest is. Is it more art journaling? Is it more like memory keeping and scrapbooking? Is it some combination junk journaling? I know I have lots of people who make their own journals and do junk journaling. This is kind of a crossover. It's a little bit of junk journaling because I'm using some junk in the journal, but it's also a little bit like scrapbooking because I'm using photos. It's not really art journaling, maybe because I'm not really using any kind of mixed media. I don't often use paint or anything like that. I do use stickers and washi tape. I should have I should have planned this out better because that's just like floating there on the page nowhere. Who knows? So that was Monday. These were sort of milestones that I hit. This was super cool. And this was Jersey Mike's. Okay. All right. Well, this works on the page. It's not perfect, but it works. So, what have I got? That's the book I read. We'll start on Monday. This might be Tuesday. I was going to go on Monday and then something. I don't remember. Maybe I went on Tuesday instead, but it's my first bike ride of the season. I am so excited. If you guys followed me last year, you'll know that I did 100 days of biking, and I finished in, I think it was like the end of October, and it was getting really, it was starting to get really cold by then. And I was glad for the 100 days to be over. But I did miss it over the winter when it was too cold to get biking. So I was glad we had some warm weather last week and I was able to get out there. This is the Cascade Journal. If you've been like following on my channel, you probably have seen this where I worked in it and then I filmed a finished flip through. So I posted a short with the flip through on Tuesday night and I was so excited. It got, I don't know if you can read it. It's got 7.1K views. So a little over 7,000 views on that short, which is not like huge in the grand scheme of things. I know there are many more creators with higher numbers, all the time, but that is the highest view count on any video that I've had on my channel so far. So it is kind of a milestone. I was pretty excited about it. It's a good dopamine hit when your when your videos are getting a lot of traction. Like it's fun. And I went to bed because it was like I posted it at like 10 o'clock at night and I woke up in the morning and it was like 6.8 and I was like, wow, it was just a cool way to wake up, I gotta say. So I also hit 200 followers on Facebook. That was over the weekend while I was in Baltimore is when it happened, but I'm just going to put it over here because it's not like related to Baltimore in any way. So I'm just putting it on this page. This is all the same week. Even though I tried to stay chronological. Same thing with this. I hit 500 days on Duolingo yesterday. And that is also not really Baltimore related. So I'm just putting it over here on this part of the week. All right, there's a lot of empty space here. I'm gonna grab, this is a Jersey Mike sticker sheet. I helped out on March 25th. Wednesday, March 25th is Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. My son is a GM at a Jersey Mike's here in our area, and they do a big, it's like a charity giveaway. 100% of their profits goes to Special Olympics on March 25th. And so this is the third year that I've gone over and helped out on that day. And this year I actually got to like sprinkle, which is what they call when you like put the toppings on the subs. So I was pretty excited about that. And since I have some extra space on this page, I might put in another sticker. Why not? I am going to do some journaling here, but probably not a whole lot. So I'm just going to sticker it up since I have these right here. All right. So that does give me a little bit of room to do some journaling, to put some stuff up. Oh, one other thing from this week. I got business cards. I had ordered a set before, but they have my personal email address on them and they linked directly to YouTube. And then I realized that was probably not the best idea. So these, oh, you can't see it, can you? These actually have my studio Gmail, and the link goes to my website, which I finally finished after months of trying to learn WordPress. I did finally get my website finished and up and running. Now, finished is a relative term. There are, of course, lots of things I would like to add to it and do to it in the future, but it is finished enough to actually share it. So I decided to celebrate by going ahead and putting that on my new business cards and ordering new ones. So I'm going to just tear a piece of this washi tape very messily, and I'm gonna take this in. I don't want to glue it down. Because I think I could probably flip it up and do some journaling, right? That's like a nice little flap. I like to have some interactive elements on the page. So that's a fun one. All right. I am definitely running out of time. I was supposed to be done with this project 20 minutes ago and moving on to cleaning up the kitchen and prepping for the meals for this week because I do all my cooking on Sunday. And it's a lot. But here I am, still gluing. So I'm just going to quickly finish up this page. I don't love that orange, but I guess it's part of the... All right, we've got some orange here and some orange there. And is orange like a Baltimore color? I guess because of the Orioles, it's probably kind of associated with Baltimore. Right? The Ravens would be the black and the purple, but the Orioles are black and orange. So I guess it makes sense to have these colors on this page. I don't love that one. All right, now I have all my pictures and then I have all this ephemera. So I'm just sticking stuff down, but I need to like plan this out and make more sense. All right, this was the actual show. This was the music under the dome. That was this. I could overlap that a little bit since there's a lot of like empty space. This was from the Science Center while we were there going for the show. I like that picture of us together. Maybe like that. This is also... So some parts of the Science Center were open while we were waiting for the Under the Dome to start. There's a picture of Gary Owen, the comedian we went to see, and a picture of the venue, the Lyric Theater. This, I think I can probably tuck right in here. Maybe. Did I glue it closed? No, but it is just the tiniest little bit too wide. I'm just gonna we had kind of a funny experience with parking. Like the hotel that we stayed at, we didn't realize that it was valet only. So we were like, oh, well, I guess there's no parking garage. Like we were going to just self park. But when we called, they were like, nope, it's valet only. So we sort of resigned ourselves. I know there are other public garages nearby, but it was a long, like traffic was bad and we were just done. So we were going to just valet park. And then the guy was like, the valet was like, it's 40 some dollars a night if we valet, but there is a parking garage right there that's only $5 a night. So we ended up taking that option. Obviously, it was nice to at least have him like direct us to one that was nearby that that he said that he trusted it. I don't know how I mean, I don't know if that was trustworthy or not. I don't know the guy. But it was good to have a little bit of direction. Like I said, after the drive and the traffic and everything, we were both kind of just like fried mentally, and it was not a decision that we wanted to make. So we just took the guy's advice, and nothing happened to our vehicle. We were fine. Everything was fine. And yeah, it worked out. But I am putting the little parking slip receipt in there. It's just those like details that you think about years later when you look back on a trip and you go, hey, do you remember that valet who, instead of just taking our car, ended up saving us like $70? Because really, he could have just parked our car. That was his job. It was nice of him to offer us an option. This Music Under the Dome program at the Maryland Science Center was very interesting. I have never been to one of those experiences before, and I really wanted to give it a try. And I thought, like, everybody loves the Rolling Stones. This will be awesome. It was very different than what I expected. And I don't know because I've never been to any other ones. I don't know if that's like par for the course or if this was just like this one particular venue and this one particular show. It was weird though, and I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I'm not sure. But I did it. I've done a Music Under the Dome show now, and I feel like I can cross that off of a bucket list. If I ever get a chance again, I don't know. I think I would have rather had just the planetarium show because the parts I loved the best were when they were showing us all of the like the constellations and the Big Bang theory and the size of the universe, and they were zooming into all the photos, and like that stuff was absolutely fascinating to me. And so I would have liked to have some discussion of that, like some descriptions and some talking about what I was seeing instead of just seeing all of that with Rolling Stones in the background. So maybe if I ever do another planetarium show, I would just not do the music show. I would just do like a regular, like, learn about the cosmos show because that part was cool. There were some parts of it that I get motion sick kind of easily, and so there were definitely some parts of it where I just had to like look down at my shoes, and I couldn't follow what was happening on the dome because it was moving, and it was making me feel nauseous. So I am going to include this funny Keith Richards for President sticker because right now I think I would probably vote for anybody for president if I thought it would change things. Pretty unhappy with the way things are going right now. All right, I'm just going to put that right here. And it gives me a little bit of room to do some journaling about the trip. I've got just a little clip that says visit Baltimore. There's a nice picture of us at the top. I've got this little tuck spot if there's anything else I want to put on here. And yeah, so I haven't done any journaling. I'll probably do that off camera. I actually need to catch up because I haven't done any journaling for these weeks either. This was the week of the 9th through the 15th when I took students to Shenandoah. There was me and two other advisors. No. Did I lose you? No. What happened to my screen? I don't know. Okay. Um, there was me and two other advisors. We took students to Shenandoah, and the week before that, I was just really sick. Hence the NyQuil box. And this week I went to the Philadelphia Flower Show with my sister, and so I have some great pictures from that event. We also had a really bad snowstorm, and I took some cool photography. There's like some really neat pictures that I took during it. So that's as far back as I have journaled. I haven't journaled anything on this page either, really. Um, we did What did we do that week? Nothing really fancy. My husband went to a Duke game, which was pretty cool. And then my son and I went out to dinner that night while they were at the game. But yeah, so I have to do some journaling. I have to go back and do some journaling over the past few weeks anyway. So I will just do all of that separately. And I often do like decorate, like I'll get some washi tapes and I have tons and tons of like sticker packs, and I'll go through and I'll add stickers and kind of decorate. And I definitely will do that on these pages, but again, not right now. I'm already running about a half an hour late from when I wanted to start cooking, so I'm gonna have to call it quits. And I also think there's only so much you guys want to actually watch, right? uh you probably don't want another hour of me sitting here putting stickers on these pages. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just do a quick flip through when I get these pages finished. And yeah, that's probably what I'll do. All right, folks, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video.